Okay, good morning everyone. Happy morning. Welcome back to Verbal Ability class. Today's topic is email etiquette. When I say email etiquette, this may be not the topic of campus recruitment examination. Interviewer may not ask you before you join any organization to write an email. But yes, because not all the topics are required to get the job, there are topics which would help you to survive there. You know, I would like to discuss one analysis here, the corporate analysis, that there are people in the organizations, they have fear of writing emails. They do not write emails. They avoid writing emails. You know why they do not write emails, why they avoid writing emails, is that because the drawback in written communication is that you are not there to explain it to the other person what you want to convey. In verbal communication, if you are speaking something, and it has some errors, so you can justify that error, or you can justify in fact your tone to the other person, correct? Tone is very important part in the communication. So when I say in written communication, people generally read that written part, generally read those emails in that way, or I would say with their attitude. If I'm the person of criticism kind of attitude, so or critic kind of attitude, so I would read that email as I have to criticize somebody. So that's why we say that please read between the lines, because the other person, you are not aware about the mindset of the person, how would other person take this email. So read between the lines. And yes, at the starting of the section, I would like to discuss the most important tips, or the best strategy of email etiquette is, before click on sending button, read this email, assume as somebody else has shared this email with you, or somebody else has sent this email to you, correct? So I would like to start email etiquette with this this strategy. So one is in email etiquette. Yes. So the first tips, I would say the first steps is that your email address should be the professional one, or I would say your email address shouldn't be unprofessional. I've seen some email address from the students, when they share their resume, or whenever in fact you share your resume with the companies. So the HR, the first thing is that the first impression about your written communication is with your email address. One email address, I do remember the email ID. Once I was in HUL, so I was taking care of training and HR division. So one person shared his resume with us, and his email was chatur@gmail.com. So when I saw that email, chatur@gmail.com, so I discussed it with the HR manager, and what was the response from HR manager? He said, we don't need chatur people, that kind of chatur people who are chatur in himself or herself, correct? So your email address should be professional one. Point two is, when you are ready with your email address, now when I'm writing the email to somebody, the first thing that I should know here is, after creating my email address, is the subject line. This is the point which would create interest in the reader's mind, whether the reader should read or open your email or not. This time is about the time management. People do not waste their time in opening the emails. In fact, whenever you open your inbox, there are approximately every day 25, 30 emails, unread emails. Do you read all the emails? You just read the subject, you decide which mail is to be opened or not. In fact, in my inbox there are around 10,000 emails which I have not opened yet. So why I have not opened it? Because those emails were not important for me, and because of the subject line, I got to know the importance of those emails. So please write your subject clear, and clear with the message. So it should be clear what you want to write, and what information should it have, but it should not be a very long subject. It should not be a paragraph in the subject. It should be just one statement, one liner. short, crispy, unclear. Correct? Okay. Point 3 is, next is in email etiquette, we should know now whom the mail is to be sent. So there are recipients, understanding of recipients, to and CC. There are other recipients as well, BCC, but we in professional emails we do not keep people in BCC. So into the one who is whom I expect the actions to be taken, whom I want to handle the situation or to take the decision, and this is like person concerned. And CC is the one. CC is not the one who is the person concerned. You want some decisions to be taken by the HR manager, but you are keeping HR manager in CC, and you are writing the team leader or operation manager into. So that means you are only suggesting the operation manager to forward it to the HR manager. It is not required to keep HR manager in CC, because from your end, if you think that an action is taken by the operation manager, so you are writing an email to operation manager, but you think if the action is taken by the HR manager, do not keep your operation manager into, keep operation manager in CC and HR manager into. So this is like carbon copy. Okay. Next is about, after deciding whom should be kept in to whom should be kept in CC. Now it is about how to write an email. So next is salutation. So when I say salutation is how we address people. So in our mails we have tendency to start all the emails like dear sir or dear ma'am. In fact, there is a confusion, about understanding the names. One person may have the name as male in North region. I do not know the gender of the person in South region. In fact, in Punjab, with the last name we identify whether the person is male or female. So we should not write dear sir only or dear ma'am only if I do not know the person, or if I am writing first time to the person, I can write both dear sir and ma'am. And ma'am should be capped before the sirs. So dear ma'am and sir. So dear ma'am and sir, and then we have to start the body. I would request you to avoid salutations like respected sir. I do not know the person. In fact, if I respect that person, so it is not required to mention in the email respected sir. Correct. So this is like, this email is like to the colleges when a student is writing an email to the teacher or the faculty members. So there it's fine that there is a relationship between them, or different kind of relationship they have, they share. It's about paying respect. Correct. But here in the corporate, it is not required to write respect. It's only dear sir, dear ma'am. Correct. Or in fact, with the name, yes. If you are writing Mr. in salutation, please write the complete name. Mr. plus complete name or last name. Do not write Mr. with first name. Somebody wrote my name in the email, dear Mr. Sachin. I got offended because when somebody is writing Mr. with the first name, it is like the tone that I was talking about in essay writing. So tone becomes very hard, right? So when we say Mr. Sachin Kumar, it is absolutely fine, completely professional. Or if I say Mr. Kumar, this is also fine, absolutely fine. So we should not write Mr. with first name. It's either the complete name or the last name. Correct? Okay. So after the salutation, next is the opening of the email. So next is the opening of the email. Please understand whether it's an information which you want to share with somebody, or it's a complaint that you're writing about it, or it's a feedback that you want to share with someone, or it's an appreciation that you want to appreciate somebody. So decide, what kind of email this is, and please start this email with this kind of sentence. If you want to appreciate someone, so please start that email with this way, that I would like to congratulate this person. Do not open this email that this is bring to your kind notice or kind attention. So that appreciation email cannot be written this way, correct? Or I would say should not be written this way, not cannot be. Next, in the body part of the email, it goes the same way as we have paragraphs. So now in the body, so we have opening. After the opening, in the body we can discuss the whole incident, why I want to. So you can apply the whole 5W1H. Whom I want to appreciate, why I want to appreciate the person, when this incident happened, what was the task, and how that appreciation would go. Maybe it is only with the email, or we have something else like some certificates or some memos to present, correct? Next is when the email is over, if this was the complaint and you expect solution from other person whom you have written this email, so please write at the end that what you expect, your expectation about the solution. So it should be at the end, expectation about the solution, and finally signatures. So with the signature, what information are required to write in the signature? Your name, your designation, your mobile number, email address is already there, correct? So this way, we can learn email etiquettes. And here, it becomes very crucial here with this opening and body part of the email. Generally, people write at the end of the email, sir, please kindly, they write both the words please and kindly, please kindly look into this matter. So look into is like, when you want somebody to oversee it, somebody to analyze it. So when you have some request to analyze some other person, so do not just, repeat the cliches. Try to write, a formal kind of, language in email. And what other errors we make here, please make sure that there should not be any spelling or grammatical errors in the body part. Apart from, spelling mistakes, apart from grammar mistakes in the emails, one more thing that we have to take care in the body of the email, that please do not write short forms. The message language is not acceptable in emails. Like we write for how you. One of my students, he texted me the other day. He said, so the first message that I got from my students was GM. So I did not, understand what this person want to say. This is what this person wants to say. So I said, it may be good morning. So I responded this way, then good morning. The next sentence, HRU. Now I opened my, the brain, like I tried to understand what is this HRU. So like for you it is HRU is how are you, for somebody is HRU is something else, correct? So do not write the short forms in email. Do not write this, as I said, with professionalism. Do not write any kind of unprofessional language here. It should be the professional one only. Avoid humor also from the emails, correct? One more thing, the most important part in the email etiquette is that whenever we have an option of reply, correct? So reply to an email. I have seen, I would say more than 75% people in corporates or at the work culture, they do not bother about reply to or reply to all. Like I'm the HR manager, I wished somebody, there are 1,000 employees in my company, I wished somebody for his birthday and I kept all 1,000 people in CC. I wished him because as an HR, this was my responsibility to make everyone aware. Now all 1,000 people will reply to all to everyone. So each person will have 1,000 emails and it is only about wishing a person. So I think we should decide whether the mail should be replied or replied to all, correct? Yes, we'll have a quiz in the evening for your basic understanding on email etiquettes. and I would suggest you please start writing emails to the company's HRs for internship, for placement. Keep sharing your resumes to the companies, right? So this would help you to become a very good writer in emails. Correct? So with this I would like to wind up my session. Thank you so much.